Morning all. My name is Ravi. Let me introduce. Ravi Iyer from Mumbai office email. So today, right now, we'll be going through 4 instruments. Laser source, power meter, PDR, and splicing machine. So I just want to know from you, what is your requirement at this moment? Like as far as all the instruments are concerned, usage is an issue, or right now where it is used, you need that explanation as well. So just from your side, what your expectations are?
Introduction is we have a lot of standards there.
Right.
All the institute.
Right.
Right. So what happens is there कभी-कभी वो उसका disconnectivity हो जाए.
Okay.
तो हमें we are not able to trace out the there whether the cable खराब हो गई है कि क्या है. So you do not have neither we have a power source or power grid.
Okay.
अगर दोनों पे अच्छा भी चाहिए तो we are going with power grid.
Sure.
अगर डिस्टेंस में कितने में केबल कटा हुआ है वो भी हमें चाहिए.
Fine.
Yes,
Fine. Fine. So I'll just go through little basics of laser source, power meter, PDR, splicing machine. When you have a laser source, cable, and a power meter, you will be able to see if there will be links. You will be able to see what is injected and what is received. So basically, cable is through or not. Whether there is any break in the fiber, you will be able to identify using laser source and power meter. So obviously, each cable is made for particular wavelengths. So the moment you talk about laser source, power meter, you talk about wavelengths. What wavelength? What wavelength of light to be transmitted? Usually, all your wherever communication is taking place, it takes place 1310 or 1550. So either. So we test for both, whatever. So laser source, power meter. Now supposing so this is just the basic. Now we go for PDR. So a particular type of source, multiple so there are attenuation windows where for these particular wavelengths the attenuation is good.
So you can explain the type of wavelengths like four meters of wavelengths and single mode में कौन सी multi
Verification also there. आप किसी wavelength में we can run on a single mode also or whether
multi वो सारी wavelengths सारी चीज़
वो भी आप clear कर.
Okay. 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 So single mode and multi mode. Usually single mode goes for 1310, 1550, 1625 nanometers. The multi mode works at 850 and 1300. Do you need details of what is single mode, what is multi mode? Okay. So in single mode fiber, the pore is so small. Pore is so small that light can travel in only one path. Whether it is curved, so it will travel in one path only. That is single mode. So it is so thin that light can travel in only one path. In multi-mode, the pore is big. So light can travel in multiple paths. No. Single. What you are transmitting here, one source. It is spreading out in different paths. For example, when I speak, so my sound waves are traveling and hitting the wall and coming to you. There are some waves which are coming to you directly. So the moment you have a bigger space, and that kind of reflections come, then you'll find echoing. So the echo is a direct sound has come to you, and a reflected sound has also come to you. So it is traveling in different paths. Same way, light. So when you are one pulse, like usually you send a pulse of light and on and off. So that pulse of light, so when it is on, so it is traveling in different paths. So obviously, when this pulse is sent on a multimode fiber, sending, so the one which comes directly has come. You receive the one. So this pulse is the one which has received in a direct path. But then now there are multiple paths coming through. So it doesn't work out that way. Multimode is cheaper in a form of transmission. And so take for example, after multiple paths, it's still receiving. So your pulse has spread. So this was the original pulse. Now the pulse has spread. So supposing my next pulse is here. So it's going to come very, very close. So when this two merges, your data transmission cannot take place. So for multimode, you have a restriction of distance and rate of transmission, because you need that pulse to be discrete. Right? In single mode, obviously, whatever you transmit is going to get received. And attenuation also plays a lot of role. Any connector is going to have an attenuation. So how it works, you have a pulse of light which is going through in the forward direction. Your cable has got some impurities. The glass in it has some impurities. So that causes a little bit of reflection back. And whenever you have a connector is like this. So you have light passing through. So you have glass, air, and glass. So there is a medium change. So whenever you have a medium change, there will be a big reflection back, which is called the
loss of
yes. So if you have a particular signal which is passing through in forward direction, and you have a reflected signal, so whatever obviously when you add the two, these two will get the source signal. So part of it is reflected back, and that is being caught by the OT. So that's the
basically
principle.
loss is being calculated by the
It measures what is the reflected signal. So how it happens? You have the laser source, you have a power meter, you have a circulator. If you're okay with single mode and multi mode, shall I erase this one? Depends upon this distance of communication. Whenever you look at within campus networking, you go for multi-mode. Same. I don't have that details, but we usually say within 100 meters. Yeah, within 100 meters maximum can be used. The moment you go for higher lengths, obviously you need single. Again, your transmission rate will come down at 100 meters. So the speed of transmission, because what is fiber optic? Fiber optics is you need speed. You need speed of communication. So everyone talks about higher bandwidth. So you will be approximate cost of cables. In short term, we prefer multi-mode or single? We prefer multi-mode. Multi-mode. Yeah, in short length. In short length because it doesn't matter and the cost is down. So obviously now single mode costs are also coming down rapidly. So you can use single mode as well. Single mode. Again, the trend is everyone is coming into single mode. Multi-mode is used for special cases where you need maybe say instrument to instrument connectivity. So they are preferring multi-mode there. Like for example, you've got lasers, maybe say for medical applications. There you find multi-mode being used. Now everyone is shifting to single mode. Okay, so I just show you how an OTDR works. We have a laser source, we have a power meter, and we have a circulator. So this is your testing point. This is where you will be attaching the cable to be tested. So from the source, the circulator sends the signal from A to B, and whatever is reflected, the circulator sends to C. So you have a pulse of light sent by the OTDR laser source, and wherever you find there is a connector, physical connector, there will be a big reflection. I'll just tell you what is the difference between the reflections due to this glass, impurities in glass. It is called back reflection. And the reflection because of the connector, physical connector, because it is a change in medium, is called a Fresnel reflection. So in an OTDR, you will find at the physical connection here, there will be first a spike, and then the Fresnel reflections start, and then at the physical connector again, there will be a spike, and then your end of cable. So in an OTDR, if you see the graph, whenever there is a spike, you have to be sure that it's a air gap. A spike means an air gap, and if there is a splice here, mechanical splice or basically a fusion splice. If it is a fusion splice, you will find a small change this way. Small change, but there will be no jump. There will be no spike. So it will be a change in the characteristics. It won't be a smooth line. There will be something like this. So, any questions about OTDRs? So these are called events. So what the OTDR does, it sends a light signal. It measures the time at which these reflections come back to it. It knows the speed of light and it can calculate at what time it has arrived, the reflected pulses arrived. Now it knows the speed of light, but it doesn't know the speed of light in that particular medium. So there is a parameter which is called index of refraction, which is important to be fed in the OTDR. So when you feed this in, you get the proper distance, because that's the speed of light will depend on the IR on that particular medium index.
In that case, suppose you're talking about your figure is changing it. Suppose the near is there.
Yeah.
So then it goes a slight jump.
Right.
But what happens there if the cut is there?
If a cut is there and light does not travel, it dies out. The signal dies out.
Then how it reflects back to your power.
That's it. It gives a spike and it dies out. And that is for end of fiber. So the end of fiber, there's a spike because there's an air gap and no signal, no further signal received.
So you could alternate what particular distance.
Yes, exactly. That's the main thing. So it will tell you because it knows the speed at which it is traveling in that particular medium. So it knows at what distance it is. Using speed, it calculates the distance. Right? So using your laser source power meter, first you will check whether the line is complete, whether there is any loss, how much is the loss. If you find there is no signal at the other end, then you use your OTDR to find out what is the problem, at what distance the fault is. And from there, you use the splicing machine to go there and repair. So that's the flow of.
Like from current from the light source to the PN.
Right.
So what is really the ideal unit cell here? Or like what set of the power meter is there? What unit will be using it? How to measure it?
First, you start with normal 1310. Okay. You turn the laser source on. Power meter, you use the same 1310 setting and check out at the other end. So you should have an idea of this cable at this end. Where is the far end? So everything should be numbered. Everything should be identified. So you should have a tag on that. Where is that cable going at the far next end? And always an active fiber should never look at it in the eye. Should never direct it to the eyes. So you should be careful that the fiber is not active. Dark. Safety things you need to take care of. The reason is 13, 10, 15, 15, they are not.
We are always doing it wrong.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, the thing is 13, 10, 15, 50, they are transmission wavelengths. They are not detected by the eye. So, like for example, okay, I can give you our forefathers have been telling us during eclipse, during a full eclipse, you should not look at the sun even when it is dark. So, you know the reason? So, what about them? Why? Why suddenly UV rays are harmful only during eclipse?
Wavelength is there which can which transmits to which can
But that wavelengths are already there when the sun is there. Why only during an eclipse you should not look?
we leave it at to you.
How can there be a change in wavelength? Absolutely. the sun is bright. It's really bright. So our eyes, cornea adjusts its size to limit the amount of light which is coming in. So when it is bright sunlight, our cornea is very small. So only a very little amount of light is passing. Right. So during an eclipse, it's dark. The cornea is dilated.
One is wide.
Yeah, it's white. So the amount of what happens during an eclipse, your visible rays are blocked, but your UV is not blocked. The moon cannot block the UV lights. It's coming. So that's where you got an issue because the cornea is big and more amount of light is going in. So similarly, power meter is also the same thing. It takes in very good. I don't have chocolates. So power meter is also the similar thing. It has got a particular power level up to which it can sustain, beyond which it will burn. So you have a laser source which is good enough right now for transmission. So for example, you transmit minus 10 dBm power from the laser source, and you have got the first connector which gives you a 0.5 dB loss, the cable which gives you another 0.5 dB loss, and another connector which is giving you 1 dB loss. And there is some break in this fiber which is giving you, or maybe some impurity in this fiber which is giving you a 3 dB loss. Final connector 0.5 dB. So what will be the power measured here? Just minus 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5.5. Ideally, I should be able to see this kind of a power level. You are okay with dBs and dBm? No problem. So when I'm transmitting minus 10 dBm power, what is the, how much watts I'm transmitting? Watts of power. Right. Right. So minus 10 dBm will be 100 watts. Absolutely. Absolutely. So when you have a 0 dBm source, which is giving you 1 milliwatt. So the basic rules are, if you multiply by 2 here, you add 3 here. You divide by 2 half it, subtract 3. You multiply by 10, you add 10. You divide by 10, you subtract 10. So 0 dBm minus 10 dBm is divide by 10. So 1 milliwatt, divide by 10. So it is 0.1 milliwatt.
Once again, repeat it from great as much. Here.
0 dBm is a reference to 1 milliwatt. So you are talking about log 10. So log to the base 10. So the moment you are multiplying by 2, so you have to add 3. So it's like 2 into 1.4, something like that. So basically it comes roughly around 3. So this is a rough rule. It's not accurate, but it's very good to work with. So you add 3 on the log dBm scale. So for example, 3 dBm. So if I 0 dBm is 1 milliwatt, so my 3 dBm will be 2 milliwatt. Multiply by 2. Right? So now, my question is, a 3 dB loss, is it acceptable? What does a 3 dB loss signify? If you follow those rules, the 3 dB loss means 2 milliwatt. 2 milliwatt of thing. Okay, so is it important? 2 milliwatt. Is it important? 3 dB loss. 2 milliwatt is important. Okay. Think about it when you're transmitting 100 watt of power, a 3 dB loss will give you what? When you're transmitting 100 watt of power, 3 dB loss, what will you receive? Half. 50 watts. Half. 3 dB loss is half. 3 dB loss is half divided by 2. So 100 watt will become 50 watt. Same way, 100 kilowatt 3 dB loss is going to make it 50 kilowatt. So as and when your input signal increases, the 3 dB loss is huge. It is halving the signal. So the power level that you are transmitting, only half of it is coming out. So that 3 dB is huge. So usually this depends. At normal single mode fiber should give you around 0.02, maybe say 0.05 dB, or maybe max to max 0.1 dB per kilometer. Your connector, it is supposed to be better than 0.2 dB. Whenever you have fiber, you have connectors, so it is supposed to be better than 0.2. Now you have in this campus, I went there. I saw a lot of SC. So SC connector is your square connector. LC is thinner than that, and we have new format coming up, MT. This is multi-fiber. So we got 12 or 24 fibers in one connector. Now, obviously, they're doing more research on this. They want to make it either 16 or 32 to come into hex scheme. So this will come in future. These are connector types. So right now, what I've seen is SC. So these are old types. So you'll find the size is big. The size is big. So we have LC, which is enough. I think I will sample it. Yes. Not sure what the full form is. called the SC connector. SC. Yeah, I didn't. Yeah. But just be careful. Don't touch the edge. Yes. Size, yes, so like the RAM, because whenever you want high throughput, high bandwidth, you need more RAM. So just imagine, this is the size of this LC. Everyone has used to LC. All time LC. So they're 16 to 20. So it's like, double the size of this. But 24 5. Still not the users. Still not the users. ST. ST is used. They are also used for multi-call. But very short, these are used. Yes. Those are called simple methods. Zero degree. Yes. When you are doing slicing with fusion slicer, you make zero degree. So to connect to each of so the step is getting these two connectors. So it's the point five, the point five. Never use as less. Yes. As less. And supposing the connector qualities are very good, then you get 0.2, 0.6, 0.2. 0.2 is the minimum. You have to can get better. So there are other techniques that is okay. So I also supply polishing machines. Just to give you a brief idea. You have the fiber at the center, right? Now this center, there is a zone in which the center can be allowed to move. It's called the concentricity. So how at the exact center it is of the ferrule. So I'll just show you what is the core and what is the ferrule. The right part is called the ferrule. And the exact center. microscope. Yes. You can see bigger circle. Slide here, slide here. So, so when you can see this, you can see this. This is called a key of this. This is the key of this connector. Key will have they are holding the orientation. So the two keys are top. Now, if I have the key in this position, the key is in this position, and my fiber is out in this direction. This is the center. This is my fiber. Okay. In the first connector. In the second connector, this is the center. This is my fiber. It has gone up. So when you mate them together, it's not going to your line is not going to be through correctly. So there will be a bigger loss in this kind of a scenario. So what they do with the key on top, they rotate the ferrule. So when they're making the patch cord, they rotate the ferrule to bring this on top. So in this acceptance cone, they bring the fiber center. Yes, yes, you can. You can. It's the same. You can. Depends on what you want to do.
There is already one
If you want communication to take place, it's same.
What's the user connecting to this multi-mode?
For example, you have a device which is on multi-mode, and you want to connect your OPDR to it.
But for wide area network, you prefer
Single mode.
I am asking the support I have for different networks that we have already made this. Now, other part, how is the then we have compatibility between these two.
You can connect
You
it,
can
but
connect your device.
yeah, because it's not. You're talking about communication.
See, another way we can get it, let's suppose our ISP is there. ISP can give it to telco or multi-mode.
No, ISP never gives him the always gives because it has come from far. Even fiber from their switch. It's far, so it's always. So you find outer cable is orange, but your inner cables are yellow light.
That is, maybe they are putting it orange color, then you're thinking about it as a
That orange is telecom fiber. That orange color denotes telecom fiber. When you have red, it's power cable. Undersea fibers are armored to bunch of all single and vertically carbon and less special glass. Basically, for when you put it under the sea, so that particular glass of steel graphite, which can allow activation over the particular sea.
Which is needed to be 15 feet and but now if you have to go what's the speed of the land and that's a big question. In that particular medium.
So, for the moment, your use don't change it. Whatever is fed is for helicopter. So, everything what you have got, the source is this in the this is the source of
All the layers of
OLP power. OLP power. Power meter is it can detect anything. It can detect either single mode or multiple. So there is nothing So whenever you have OLS, optical laser source. OLP, optical laser power.
P for power, S for this.
so
बैटरी रखी होती है बैटरी कितने टाइम तक हमें चार्ज करेगी क्या इंडिकेशन होगा इंडिकेटर
They are not detected. Not detected. Normal hyperline double line. You can have Duracell. Chargeable you can use the not like
device
not like message. Whenever you are storing it, always remove the battery. Otherwise, if it leaks, then it will spoil the So these are keys which are protecting
यहाँ पे हमारा कनेक्ट लगेगा जो भी लगाना जब मोड और प्री मोड ऑफ बटन ये सब सीधा दूसरे एंड पे जाएगा
इसके उस्ताद को देनी हुई
key of it.
blowing it here. Don't get the address.
These are different type of cleaners.
ये तो आपको फूल डालेंगे अंदर फूल
there's free space. It's a detector. Here there's a physical connector. So you need to make two connectors. If you want to make two connectors, you need to make the connector. So you can see it. So you can select the right now there is no problem. So I say, this will be also
Yes.
this kind of always yellow, except for the thick telecom fiber which is coming. Outer jacket is orange, inner fiber is yellow. Yeah. So you can see that 13 times 13 minus 13.
Let me see if other जगह के हमें देखे minus 20 degree में आ गया
minus 20 is the source. I'm giving the source back to the minus 20. So, okay. The most of the is used to it's a power level actually.
micro
Yes. Minus 20 so
high power जो है वो plus जो low होती है वो minus 20 dB में micro
First, then we go into the wrong one.
पहले ठीक वाला दे
can you aim that
पूरा सेट कर दे
the set on this? Now what I do? I put the
select करना पड़ेगा हमें बहुत जगह सिग्नल भेजना है ये सेट करना पड़ेगा
when I kept holding, keep holding, turn, keep holding, turn. Now we are in slow mode, and we have minus the picture.
everybody check this completely
We are sure that the sample is close. So always when you disconnect, first turn off. Yeah. How much is that? It's like minus 10. Minus 10. You see here minus 11. Also 1.2%. Table check करने के लिए हमारा ये सिस्टम है। ये मैं दूसरे पे कितना हमने सिग्नल भेजा है किसी बार भेजे और किसी first turn off, then only right because क्या होता है that laser into the fiber is so difficult. You try transmitting using your on off valve, right? But you will never go. No, for receiving. No, you have to transmit to be able to receive.
Lost because
Lost because that's no. Right. This. Or right. I'm saying for the receiving.
Serial light जाती है जैसे मेजर पॉइंट पॉइंट से लाइट यहाँ से रिसीव करने इस पॉइंट पे आता है
So that is वो भी है that is called a visual fault locator. उसपे एक और क्या है right डालते हो and you bend this wherever there's a break that light blue. That's called a visual fault locator. So इसमें कैसा है you will not be able to move the device visual yeah this is transmission radio. I think then it will be effective method. This is for a different way. You need to know when this, how much you can bend this with. Short to right. I think visual fault locator में क्या होता है? I think there is some break in the yellow light filter. So
things are bad
TDR is for long distance. Short distance में नहीं short distance में only there is no fault. Right?
visual fault
In a red light, right? Wherever there is a break, you could go.
That's a good one.
Approximate also. It's given to you from that particular yes, yellow light.
laser widening the quantum
I have a question.
हम we will give our physical location. The distance of पूरा मिल जाएगा.
Sure.
डॉक्टर चौधरी ने पिछली बार भी बताया कि प्रॉब्लम के सर्टेन गैप के अंदर वो
मिनिमम डिस्टेंस कितना होगा?
ये डेढ़ 2 मीटर के अंदर तक सही
Meters हो जाता है वो fault में this one.
Can I have?
Vision लग गया.
इसके सारे
बोले
connectors-
बोलेगा ना लिटरेचर लिटरेचर
So यहाँ पे क्या है? DSL लिया है.
and we are
MT 2000 के
Sicily, yeah.
Is used to Yes.
आपको सर अभी मुझे लगा कि इसको अच्छी से नहीं है as far as fiber छोटे मोटे एक्सेसरीज
Over there. Direct through with the computer. Sir, direct transfer है. मैं यही
प्रिंट का ऑप्शन अगर प्रिंटर
Needs to be any calibration before that.
ये तो ऑलरेडी है
Change the pulse width. So if you transmit a pulse of wavelength to the light through the fiber, if there is one event, one connector here, another connector here. So this on period, during this on period, if the pulse of wavelength is traveling this way, it's on at during this duration, then it will treat both the events as one. So if I shorten this pulse, so the pulse will become small, so it can detect both events. So that's obviously a shorter pulse will not travel too far. Depends. अगर आपका बहुत लंबा केबल है, बहुत लॉन्ग डिस्टेंस केबल है, then you will use bigger pulse, longer pulse.
जितनी बड़ी हो उतना भी कुछ काम नहीं जाएगी तो शॉर्टनेस कम हो जाएगी।
Diameter.
एक जगह
So
पहुंच
it will not be able to find out.
यहाँ पे क्या होगी ना
जोड़ने पे जगह पे काफी बड़ी है।
इतना एरिया काटो बस उसको आगे वापस करो।
Still, it's a distance.
चलो इस बार long के the distance even since off the field starts इस distance अभी पता लगेगा ना कि off कहाँ पे कौन से व्यू में आ रही है इस पॉइंट पे है ना that there is some power.
Say smart, but you can never be smart. Yes. User was very easy to use in that smart. Whenever it's not giving you the result that you want, then you need to do additional parameters. You need to adjust the first bit, see whether the longer cable or a shorter cable. So there, range. Into auto, it will try. Opinion will try. Obviously, now the software are highly advanced and it gives a very good result. But if you want something better, and you know things, you need to put in the I have tested
So I speak to us who come from photo.
find it is relocate. Actually, relocate to speed. So they have got jumper stations. Next, whole election पे आते हैं. Yes. Right, so how do I get here?
Sorry.
So given that 2 kilometers, directly I'll see what you want. For long lines, I mean, the graph, there is a distance of sorry, 4 centimeters. 4 centimeters, 60%. So we can write dynamic means you want to see more of the graph in that page. So your between points, it will be big, 60%. So when you want to have more points, you go down. Time. So how much average in time you need. So for an acquisition to take place, or for a measurement to take place, how fast you want. So there are people who believe that they say that what they put in that minimum is 10 minutes. The more time to take for acquisition, the more accurate. Averaging, averaging number of samples. So much to collect that much data. Smart acquisition. Getting manual mode. We are connected test. So whether you can ask so we get to test the connection. So it will show you. Yes. So we do a sample test and tell you whether you get the now launch here. So we want basically what happened in a fiber spool manufacturer. So you have a spool and you have bare fibers, not connectors. To connect to the OPDR, you need a pigtail like this. So it's a launch fiber. Usually those fibers are around 5 kilometers. So you use say around 1 kilometer spool. So one side is connectorized, one side is bare. What you do is connect on the OPDR side. Second side is where you use a VFM. Sorry, we use a mechanical splice. Mechanical splice so that the fibers are just aligned together with that glue. So it's a glue. So you just align it together, mechanical splice. You don't do a fusion splice at that time because you need to just test. So one side is already connected, second side, the fiber side, you just insert, test, and then so the fiber is tested. What is the loss in that fiber? What is the distance of that fiber? That is tested. So usually this launch, so basically they need to put that launch fiber there. They don't want to see that launch fiber. So they say, they put, let us see, my launch fiber is reaching it. Launch scale will be beyond that, it will test and show it. So the V group. So it's a small mechanical block. Very tiny groove inside that. So the groove में fiber डालना है. I see there. So there is a receipt cable of that thing. वो भी डालना है क्या? Once you say yes to it, then it will say, do you want to use that card connector to include the connector? Say that connector. This is for 5%. Yes, so there are, you can save cable. So here, if it's a short cable, you won't be able to see the graph. Because the graph is okay. If you look at a long cable, you can see the graph.
We can do it after lunch. I think after craft we are getting more and more familiar with the price. It's pricing. Okay, क्योंकि ना बहुत ज्यादा हो रहा है लेकिन हम बहुत न्यू है that is very rare.
बहुत बढ़िया है बहुत सारे मतलब very someone is also you have steps directly
अभी आज अभी के आसपास एक फिजिकल यूज से कर लेते हैं, तो अभी थोड़ा सा स्लाइसिंग के ऊपर कर लेते हैं, फिर एक बार आप हैंडल कर लीजिए, अभी नहीं होता तो फिर आफ्टर थोड़ा एक घंटे के लिए करते हैं। आज मैंने पूरा पानी का टाइम बहुत सही मैंने तुम्हारे लिए कहना पड़ेगा आप फिर आप कीजिएगा फिर उसका हम
जो रीजन के लिए 10 है टाइम में ये एससी का है ये एससी का था
this is also for both SC and LC. So schools are basically basically very size होता है. This is 2.5 mm. You will see what I showed you that is 1.5 mm. So for 1.5 mm.
ये साइज के साथ
This is something different. Now you have an instrument like this. You have an instrument like this. And you connect it like this. Yes.
इसको ज़्यादा यूजुअली दोस्तों में मतलब अगर हम इस टाइप को क्लीन करते हैं तो ज़्यादा
You need to. Device side
Always.
always. The purpose is different. Clean this, you do this. Clean this kind of a thing. Fiber, you cannot see the thing.
इसको हम डबली क्लीन करते हैं हमेशा इसको क्लीन करते हैं रिकमेंडेशन तो ये होती है कि आप हमेशा करें
हमेशा ये डिवाइस भी आना चाहिए.
ऐसा
ये अवेलेबिलिटी का होगी क्रिटिकल का
नहीं सर ये तो हमारे पास स्टॉक में होता है तो बॉम्बे से फिर हम मतलब अगर आप
रिपोर्ट करेंगे कि
इंडियन रुपीस में जाएगा सर इसका सब कुछ इंडियन रुपीस में जाएगा
इसका भी फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल
इसका भी स्टॉक होता है
This is for 2.5 mm. This is for 1.5.
अभी फिर विश्व ब्रेक हो रहा है सब लोग ने तो सुबह से कुछ नहीं खाया हुआ
अगर यहाँ पे
सर एक इसको अगर क्लीन करके साथ में
नहीं सॉरी अभी तो कुछ नहीं है
हमारे यहाँ पे मेस है यहाँ पे
मैं तो वो तो कोई चक्कर नहीं सर वो तो मैं
कंफर्टेबल अगर यहाँ ही यहीं पे अगर है तो थोड़ा सा हमारा मेसी है वहाँ पे रियल मेसी है
नहीं तो मैं बता मैं गया हूँ वो पीछे से ना जहाँ पे वाटर से उसके पीछे या जहाँ से जाएंगे सर इसको ऐसे ही छोड़ दें या
नहीं ये लोग ऐसा कोई रिव्यू भी
रिकॉर्डिंग स्टॉप कर देना
अरे स्टॉप ब्रॉडकास्ट करता है ना
चलो
स्टॉप ब्रॉडकास्ट करते हैं